abandoned yet exposed.
Now, on matters education, school heads across the country have continued to register frustration and a severe cash crunch as they enter the third week of Term 3. This even as the Ministry of Education on Friday announced it had begun to release capitation funds to schools after submitting enrollment data for verification. Basic Education PS Julius Bitok, however, said only 3,000 out of 32,000 schools whose data has been received at the ministry headquarters have been cleared and consequently received third-term capitation after their data was certified as genuine. Our education reporter Luz Nyaundi brings us this story.
Across the country, this is a familiar nightmare. Empty accounts and rising bills as students settle into the crucial third term. Many institutions say they have been forced to survive on credit, even as pressure mounts to prepare candidates for national examinations. On Saturday, Kenya Primary School Heads Association Chairman Fuad Ali said entering into the third week with no funds will spell an even worse situation for the institutions.
We've just opened. This is our second week. So the situation is not good, but it will get worse as we move on towards the end of the month. This is just the beginning of the month. But as far as we are concerned, after consultation with the ministry headquarters, they have assured us that before the end of this coming week, the funds will be dispersed to schools because the system is already done. They've already cleaned up the system.
This comes even as the Ministry of Education on Friday announced that it had started the release of capitation funds, but the relief has barely reached most of the schools. Basic Education Principal Secretary Julius Bitok confirmed that more than 32,000 schools had submitted enrollment data, but only 3,000 have so far been cleared to receive funding.
The only challenge that we had at the beginning was that the formats of the data that was being submitted was not consistent with our templates. But right now, we have been able to update our sub-county directors of education together with the heads of institution. The data that is now coming in or streaming in is consistent with our templates, and we are happy to note that the team is working very hard, burning the midnight oil to ensure that they complete this process.
The audit that was meant to come to an end on Friday was extended to next Friday, September 12th, to allow schools yet to comply to do so. The PS warned principals and county supervisors who are yet to submit data in correct format that they risk severe punishment for missed deadlines. Julius Ogamba, the Cabinet Secretary for Education, in an exclusive interview with KTN said the verification exercise seeks to weed out inflated figures and ghost learners, a process the ministry insists is necessary to ensure fairness and accountability.
Now, what has happened in this third term that has led to the delays is the fact that the Auditor General did undertake a special audit of these funds in various schools and gave an indication that in the last 4 years, disbursements that may have been made to schools perhaps that do not exist or to numbers that are not correct.
But for teachers and learners on the ground, the delay means stalled operations, unpaid suppliers, and growing frustration. And they now warn that unless the disbursement is fast-tracked, the third term, which already is high stakes, could spiral into chaos for both schools and parents. Luz Nyaundi, KTN.
The Social Health Authority, SHA, continues to be under scrutiny